You gotta love these moments in life when you're not at work and you're listening to some music and you're walking down the trail, rocking out to Jimi Hendrix or something like that, you know? So I heard this, I decided, don't you guys, every once in a while click on something you probably shouldn't love, those religiosos these days. Someone that said, Jesus said homosexuality is evil or something was the title or something, and he said, some people say Jesus never said homosexuality is bad. He says, um, but yet he talks about the sanctity of marriage, that it's a man and a woman, and so therefore, that means he's in an indirect way he's talking about, like homosexuality is being evil, So it's like the world really there's going to be some people that believe him. I think for the most part, he's making a fool of himself. He's actually working against himself, because most people have enough common sense to see, oh my gosh, he's like making a fool of himself, But the world really needs the world to have more people that have better free thinking skills than that. You got to have better free thinking skills than that. For one thing, you can't prove that in a non-biblical sense, and that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to attack something in a non-biblical sense. The Bible has its time and place, but that's not the time and place for it. For one thing, we can't prove that there actually is a man in the sky, and we can't prove that the Bible's his exact word. Because when you study the subject from what we do know about those things, is that the meaning of Yahweh is that God's within, and not a man in the sky, and that the Bible is is written by a whole bunch of different people, and almost never by the person that the book's about. There's just not really very much reason to believe those things based on reality, and so you're trying to say that there's proof that those things are bad in a way that should be enforced by the law. See, so you need people to have enough free thinking skills to say, that guy is making a fool of himself, he's making a fool of his religion, that's not, if Jesus was here, Jesus would be all, why are you making a fool of me like that, I'm not that stupid, like male and female in a marriage, that just means, it doesn't mean male and female, it could mean anything, it's up to the person, but there's like going to be one. Even in a non-sexual relationship, when there's two people, there's one person that's a little bit more masculine that tends to say, let's get the fuck out of here, or let's go over here, or let's do that, someone that kind of leads the way, sometimes it is the woman, but then there's a whole psychology to how that translates in bed, always, there's like known connections and things like that. So it's the sanctity of marriage, that is not even if it was, we're trying to do it biblically, so it's still not a good argument that that's enough proof that Jesus would hate people just because they're gay. So that's why there's probably lots of scriptures that describe love as the higher law. Love is the law, and everything else is just an attempt to describe it. So, and then for me personally, it's the non-biblical thing kind of grosses me out. The Bible's a beautiful book, but it's more like a beautiful book because it's wisdom from the elders, and people from that part of the world that's a terrible, going back in time into the Middle East to ask someone what their opinion is about LGBT matters is in my opinion, a ridiculous idea. Even if it was directly just like through some spiritual thing, as if they're standing right there telling you, but it isn't. There's so many translation thises and that's, and like there's so many, it's been touched, the word of the Bible has been touched by many, many hot hands by the time it gets to you. Many, many hot hands. There's no way the story could not be distorted. Sorry. And then the whole God's a man in the sky thing is like, wow. None of the things that's based on have anything to do with real scriptures and real Hebrew words and the Kabbalah and the Tetragrammaton and things like of such deeper nature that if it was true would be connected to it. You can't just all of a sudden say the truth is this and is completely disconnected from everything it meant before. And that's what they're accusing us of, even though that's also ridiculous. There's nothing in reality to say that there should only be two genders, and there's nothing in human archaeological finds that suggest that either. There's always been more than one gender. The question isn't if it's a sin. They're asking that it causes people to be distracted because they're asking the wrong questions. People by now should know, yeah, there has been and always will be transgender people. Even if we kill them, even if we start killing them, they'll still be around. They will. They'll just be more incognito and stuff. It's a part of humanity. It's a part of reality, and it's even in the animal kingdom and everywhere else. It's a ridiculous idea to stamp it out, but even if you did, it wouldn't work. So it's obvious that an intelligent thinker would realize that the true solution would include how inclusion, inclusive people problems are solved with inclusive solutions. Like how do we include these people? And private morality really ruins that. If you're trying to decide, is this appropriate from the Lord's perspective? That's a personal opinion, that has a value because it's part of your system. But keep that part quiet and say the parts that's relevant to finding real solutions from like the bigger picture of everybody, not just you. Know what the word egocentric means. Know what the word ecocentric means. Learn how to identify ego through awareness, which is what meditation is. It's, timing your breathing in your heart and silencing the chatter and bringing yourself into that, So Buddhism is not satanic. They lied. It's actually something that could make you a better Christian. It'll teach you how to identify ego, and then you won't make Jesus look like a retard. I'm sorry. See, the word retard, it means like to stop or slow down. I should have said damnation. Damnation. Isn't that an AC/DC song?